Hey y'all, hey. So here I am. I am back with another, I don't even want to say yearly, but a biannual video about Nicki and where she's at with the girls. So I want to start off before we really get into it with saying, as I always do, this is with love. I absolutely plan on going to her reboot tour. I'm out here in Pittsburgh, so I think where her second stop is Philly than us. I just got my sister and my cousin like some tickets, and then I'm gonna get me and my best friend tickets. So everything, I'm saying all of this, and I'm still gonna be there at the tour. So all of this is with love. And this is, as I always like to say in my videos, this is coming from someone who has been a fan since '08. Okay? I didn't come later. I was there before she was who she is, her ascension, and now. So everything I'm talking about, it's not because, I was there when it happened. So recently, I don't even where do we even start? So really, I want to start with Ice Spice and JT. Ice Spice and JT in particular, right? So I didn't do a video when all of this stuff happened just because honestly I was just so tired of the conversation, and honestly I wasn't really sure like what was right and what was wrong. So apparently Ice Spice best friend, I can't think of the girl's name, but had put out some text messages between her and Ice Spice pretty much. And the messages were about Nicki. Okay, I apologize, y'all. I'm looking for the text messages right now. So these text messages right here are between Ice Spice and her best friend. Now, these text messages are allegedly about her and Nicki. And I really feel like what Ice Spice said in these texts is kind of a lot of the crux of the problem. But let's go here. So her best friend said, how'd the call end yesterday on a good note? Ice Spice says, open-ended again. But then James called me with Nicki's old manager of 11 years, and he said she was being unfair, asking for too much. Which is what everyone's been telling me, but it's hard to negotiate with her because she doesn't let people talk like lawyers or James, etc. Her best friend writes back and says, just woke up, that's so annoying, bro. Does she not realize that she's asking for too much? Ice Spice says, no, she doesn't think so at all. The friend says, so frustrating. Do you think you guys will be able to come to a compromise? Ice Spice says, hopefully, but we're about to put another record in June for the Barbie soundtrack. Now that's obviously the Barbie world track with both of them. Which is an opportunity that I brought her. So Ice Spice is saying that she brought that Barbie record to Nicki because Barbie asked me to do it alone, but since that's her brand, I invited her on, and she doesn't even see that as me bringing her something, which we're going to get back. We're going to break down this text message because we're going to get back to a few things, okay? She's kind of like my mom, ungrateful and delusional. I cut her off, by the way, not speaking to her till January. And in response to the Barbie thing, when Ice Spice said she doesn't see as this me bringing her something, the best friend says, OMG, how does she not realize that? It's not like they initially asked her to do it. That's the thing people always say about her. She'll always think she's doing you a favor. Did she do more? This is her best friend. Did she do more, or do you just feel like that's what's best? Ice Spice says, no, it's that. Plus, she wants publishing from all of my songs, including third-party writing competitions. So anything I write for other people or on any songs I get on. Mind you, I had a Taylor Swift collab before I had the Nicki one. Her best friend says, is the Taylor collab coming out? And yes, I know. I mean, did your mom do more annoying shit, or did you just feel like a break was necessary? Also, bro, now that I'm thinking about it, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. I think we're forgetting that when Nicki was coming up, the deals they were getting at the time in the early 2000s weren't artist friendly at all. Literally not until recently. So to us, she's asking for too much. But because she probably used to seeing labels take more, she feels like it's more than being fair. It's not right, but she's older, which is why she feels that way. Not right at all. Ice Spice says, and that's basically what she's saying, because she keeps saying, oh, when Wayne was signing me, I didn't question, blah, 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 blah. But me and her in different places in our career when that happened. Like, I'm already signed, so why would I work backwards? And no, it's just necessary. Like, she gaslights me too much. I gotta love her from a distance for my mental health. Her best friend says, this is the best way I can describe it. Nicki is like those people who believe that kids shouldn't get student loan forgiveness because they had to pay for it back when they went to pay. But mind you, we wanted to pay Nicki, which is what Ice Spice says, if that makes sense. Her artist fee, yes, 100%. I think she's jealous that I own all my masters, because she said, James, you think you the man and you think you so cool in an interview. I don't know why she mentioned that. Her best friend said, what? And then Ice Spice says, and James, the one that said I own my masters in a Billboard interview. Her best friend says, it's given jealous, 100%. It's actually sad. Ice Spice says she's showing it too much, like my mom wanting to rap. Okay, so I know that was a lot, but I think that conversation really, really, really sums up, to me, from what I'm getting of what's going on with Nicki and some of these girls. So before we get too deeply into that, right, it's also been noticed that there is obviously some type of distance between Nicki and JT. Now, as we all know, JT was so far up Nicki's ass. Anytime Nicki did anything, JT was online rooting and caping and going hard in the paint, right? So much that people was calling her a damn lapdog. And Nicki was also very helpful. I believe Nicki helped JT with Sideways, the song Sideways. I mean, no, not Sideways, but No Bars. So it started to notice like, JT hasn't said shit about Nicki. And then when JT just dropped her album for City Cinderella, Nicki didn't post anything. She didn't say anything. She didn't post her on any of her socials. And then there's been like, her on Radiohead saying, little things like, if you don't see somebody around me, don't ask me. She also said recently, the girls don't want to sign with me, but they want to go and sign with the white man. And then what does the white man do? He calls me. Pretty much giving very much like, when Jay-Z said niggas would rather work for the man than to work for me. We have a lot to unpack here, but let's start with this first two parts, right? In my opinion, what's happening here is that Nicki is falling out to me, not with all of the girls, because I think Cardi is a different situation. I think Meg is a different situation. And I think Lotto is a different situation. But I think she kind of feels like this about some of these girls, and specifically Ice Spice and JT. I think Nicki feels like, why, as she said on Station Head, I think Nicki feels like I do a lot for you girls. By me even standing next to you, I'm giving you your cachet. So we work together and we do certain things, or I'm helping you behind the scenes. But now when it's time to, actually put pen to paper about you actually signing with me, now you don't want to sign with me. You either want to sign with a major or you want to stay with a major. But in Nicki's head, it's like, it makes more sense for you to sign to me because, in her words, when you go with these major labels, they're calling me anyway. They're calling me to come work with you. They're calling me to pretty much, get the formula. So I'm not understanding. This is Nicki's voice. I'm not understanding why is it that I help all of these girls. So I think that Nicki feels like she helps girls and then they just kind of take from her and leave her leave her. And they don't really give anything back. And this is where I don't want to say I quote unquote disagree, because we don't necessarily know everything. But if I'm going off of Ice Spice's text, right? Let's go back for a second. Ice Spice started off by saying that I guess they must have been negotiating something for maybe Ice Spice to be a Heavy On It affiliate, which Heavy On It is Nicki's label, right? And it was rumors that Ice Spice was going to be an affiliate of it. But Ice Spice says that when her team talked to Nicki's team and they were negotiating, that her side felt like Nicki was asking for too much. And it is Ice Spice's team's job to do what's in the best interest of their client, not for Nicholas. And she also says in here, she says, but it's hard to negotiate with her because she doesn't let people talk like lawyers. So to me, that sounds like Nicki is not allowing like the teams and the lawyers and everybody to negotiate. Like she wants to jump into the negotiation and she wants to be able to say, no, but da 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 da, when that's not how it needs to go. Like everybody needs to stay out of it. Like as far as like let the lawyers and let the teams handle it. Nicki jumping in, I could see how that could probably, cause some issues. Another thing that I thought that was interesting, right? And this is going to go to one of my main points about how Nicki feels. Now, Ice Spice says, we're about to do another record in June for the Barbie soundtrack, which is an amazing opportunity that I brought her because Barbie asked me to do it alone. But since that's her brand, I invited her on and she doesn't even see as that me bringing something to her. So this is to me where I feel like Nicki is not understanding. What Nicki needs to do if she really wants to have a heavy on it affiliate artist or whatever the case may be is you need to start from the bottom. Take your ass outside, hit the internet, go to some clubs, find an unknown artist, work with them and break them as artists. The problem here is that Nicki thought that Ice Spice and JT in particular, like she really did them a favor. Let's be very clear. That Barbie soundtrack song, both of them benefited from that. So I can truly, absolutely understand how I can absolutely see Nicki feeling like, well, bitch, this is Barbie and Barbie is my brand. So what do you mean? Like you're bringing, like, this is my shit anyway. Even if they didn't call her, Nicki probably felt like they was going to call me anyway because I'm that girl. But from Ice Spice's perspective, it's like, no, I literally asked you to be on the song. They didn't go to you for it. They came to me, not you. Me. And because I'm such a fan and to me it just made sense, I thought it would be dope if we both did this song together. But I feel like Nicki thinks she was doing Ice Spice a favor by being on the song when, yeah, a little bit, but it's mutually beneficial. And this is the problem right here. Ice Spice and JT are artists already. These are not unknown people that you started to work with and then we as the public knew exactly who they were. So you want to know what? When you're going into negotiations with these girls, the leverage that they have is much higher than an unknown artist. The reason why you even want to work with Ice Spice, Nicki, and you accepted that is because she's popping. It's a mutually beneficial situation. She gets Nicki she gets on a record with Nicki, which obviously is going to bring the barbs and stuff. And just from like a PR perspective, it's like really stamping like, okay, the queen really fucks with Ice Spice. But from the opposite end, Ice Spice is a new, young, popping artist. So Nicki gets relevancy, not that she's not relevant, but she gets more relevancy and more traction with the younger crowd by being on a song with Ice Spice. It's not like it's not like nobody knew who Ice Spice was at all. And it's just this girl who came out of nowhere and her first song is with Nicki, or nobody knew who she was until she did a song with Nicki. So even she ends up saying, like, let's go through the text message a little bit more. She even says like, she wants publishing from all my songs, including third-party writing competitions. So you want everything from this girl. And what she ends up saying later, which is, I'm already signed, so why would I work backwards? Back to my point. Ice Spice and JT had a whole full-ass career. Like a whole full-ass career before she started to work with you. So if you wanted JT to sign to you, first of all, she's already with QC. So you got to kind of work that out. But JT would have probably more leverage than Ice Spice do. She has way more leverage walking into a deal with you. So it's going to be more of a partnership probably thing than me signing to you like I'm a new artist. Now Ice Spice's best friend is very, very smart because everything she said is true. That I believe is true, which is that back in the day, those shitty ass deals, for the most part, y'all had to sign them. You had to sign those deals to kind of walk through the door. And at the time, artists didn't really have the knowledge or the know-how to not really do that. And at the time, that's just how the business was set up. So when Ice Spice says, yeah, that's true, because Nicki said, well, when I walked through the door, this is what I signed with Wayne, da da da. Yeah, but you want to know what? And most people, if you're not old enough to remember this, you will remember. But the story of Bedrock, the song, ooh, baby, I be stuck to you like glue. One of the things that happened around that time is Nicki did not want to hop on Bedrock. She didn't want to be on that song. And you want to know what happened? Allegedly, for a short period of time, Wayne kicked her out of Young Money. Allegedly. Allegedly, Nicki did not want to do Bedrock. And because, and not only Bedrock, but she didn't want to do the Young Money compilation album. If y'all don't remember, there was a Young Money compilation album. And she didn't want to do that. And Wayne allegedly said, you don't want to do that shit? You not in Young Money no more. And is she on Bedrock or is she on Bedrock? Is she on Roger That or is she on Roger That? Okay then. But as Ice Spice best friends end up saying later, Nicki literally is one of those old people that's like, well, I had to pay my student loan, so you should have to too. It's not even like you're presenting, according to Ice Spice, a deal to this girl or to these ladies that's beneficial. You're trying to take everything from them because that's what happened to you, when it should be the opposite. It should be, because I went through this, I don't want you to have to go through this. But more importantly, these girls already have an established name. Both of them, JT and Ice Spice, and I'm only saying this if what these text messages saying like is true, and all of the rumors, which is that the reason why Nicki don't fuck with Ice Spice and JT is because she tried to sign them and that just didn't go out and that didn't go correctly. I feel like this. I tweeted this the other day. I said, if Nicki is expecting that when she helps these girls for there to be some type of business or collaboration or them signing, then that needs to be said from the start, and that needs to be solidified before you start working with them. Otherwise, if you're not going to help these girls just to help, you could keep it. Because one thing that's bothering me from just a moral standpoint is like, these are young ass girls that are coming to you because you're a vet in this shit. And instead of you literally reaching out your hand and pulling them up and not expecting anything out of it other than, I just want to see all of the girls do good, which is a main critique that you get. You pull the girls up, but it's always something attached to it, which is something that all of the girls have said about Nicki. Nicki expects you to kiss her ass, and she wants all your shit at the same time. And the girls are not going for it. As I say all the time, quoting Tyler Perry, if it look like a duck, quack like a duck, AFLAC, bitch. There is no way, I don't care what the barbs say, there's no way that Nicki has fell out with Cardi, somebody who praised her prior to them falling out, Meg, who praised her before that happened, Lotta, who always praised her, Cash Doll, who always praised her, Ice Spice, who was clearly on her dick, JT, who was clearly on her dick. Do we have, that's 6 right there. So let me get this right. So it's just everybody, right? It's everybody else that's a problem. You fall out with all of these girls. All of their stories are consistent with the type of person that you are, but it's everybody else. The way I look at it at this point, Nicki, is just stay in your own lane. Just don't, you know what? I would prefer you to just keep dealing with the critique that you don't work with the girls. Because actually what's happening now is worse. The critique was you didn't work with girls. Now the critique is that you don't know how to get along with the girls. You work with girls and then you fall out every single time, which I think is actually a worse perception than if you just didn't work with the girls at all. Because now it's clear that you're the problem. It's clear that you're the problem. And so I feel like there's a couple of things going on here. Like I said, with Nicki, I feel like she thinks that she's doing the girls a favor. And so that they pretty much, I don't want to say owe her everything, but like, if I did this for you, why you not giving me everything? And I don't think that's a fair way. I feel like if that's what you really want, then you need to find your own artist that's unheard of. Because then whatever deal it sounds like to me, like you're pretty much trying to say, if I'm going off of these text messages, it comes off like you're saying, why would you want to get fucked by a white person? Just get fucked by me. At least you get fucked by a black person. At least I'm fucking you and not one of the white people. Like, oh, you'll let the white people fuck you over, but not me. When that shouldn't be the message at all. Now, a lot of people feel like Nicki just wants to be the only girl. I feel like yes, but no. I feel like where she is now in life, I think she wants to, because there are so many girls, I think Nicki wants to just make it clear that like, yeah, but I'm the girl. But this is the thing. Nicki got into it with that girl who did that TikTok saying, does Nicki know that she's Nicki? And I say that every time I talk about her. Nicki, Onika Tanya Mirage, is a walking legend. She, to me, is the best female. She's the greatest female rapper of all time. Hits, bars, culture impact. She checks all the fucking boxes. The problem is that she does not carry herself as such. She does not carry herself as such. The way that she moves, not queen-like, not legend-like. It's given very early 20s. I'm bickering back and forth with these girls. You're arguing with girls that are not even in your generation or level or freaking even in the same building as you. Yet you continue to have falling out with these girls. At this point, just stay in your own lane with the barbs and don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I do think that Nicki has gotten accustomed for the longest to being the only girl. And I know that's why she don't like Ice Spice. I mean, not Ice Spice. Be clear. The reason she don't like Lotto is because Lotto said that Nicki was the only woman at one time. Which is only rap bitch on the Forbes list. That's kind of my issue with Nicki is like, when you were the only girl, you were proud of that and you said it all the time. But now you feel like it's a slight to you when it's not. Maybe some people try to use that as a slight, like you was the only woman, as a slight to you. But I've always said that's not a slight to Nicki. To me, that's a slight to the industry and where things were at that time. That's less of a slight to her. That's less of a slight to her. You are literally done in these streets as far as you working with other girls. Just hang it up and don't try again. Hang it up and don't try again. Make your music, have your baby, do that. And as a side tangent, I also want to say that the fact that she has a problem with her sister because of what her sister said on that interview, which wasn't bad. She said, I did not see Nicki a lot because it's a big gap in age and she was always busy. No, we don't always get along. No, we're not the best of friends all the time. And you get on your station head and say that, pretty much calls your sister thirsty. And you don't have no clown in your blood. Nicki has a problem with her in relation to other women. I truly believe that Nicki needs to feel as if people need her. So that's why to me it's harder for her to work with girls, especially in this era, who don't mind showing reverence, but they're not gonna shuck your dick. They have more leverage today than you did in 2008 with Wayne. And I think that bothers her. The fact that Cardi can walk in the building or walk in the room and put her dick on the table and say, no, you're not going to call me your son on the same record that I'm on with you. Why do you think that that's even okay? On her nigga's track. The disrespect. The fact that Meg said, I don't care if you and Cardi are beefing or not, I'm going to go work with her. The fact that she didn't have to kiss your ass and say, no, I'm picking a side. The fact that Lotto told the truth. You were the only woman at that time. We got to start dealing with the facts of the matter here. You're an icon. You're a walking legend. It's time to act like it. It's very sad to not see her embrace the girls the way they need to be embraced. It's very sad. And the crazy part about it is, it's not even like it's just girls with this generation. Because as far as I'm concerned, you don't get along with nobody previous to you other than Foxy. And sometimes Lauryn Hill when she feel like acknowledging you. But the disrespect that you've allowed people to show Missy, because years ago she said giggling or some shit like that, like for God knows however long, you let your fans disrespect a walking icon, somebody that your icon, Wayne, puts in his top 3, but you let your fan base and you continuously stoke the fire to have her disrespected. Missy Elliott got on Twitter and said, I was so happy to see, like I was surprised at how excited people was to see me go on tour and see me get, my flowers. Cause sometimes I really feel like I'm not working. That's Missy Elliott. You don't get along with her. We know what happened with Kim. It says a lot. Cause as I said, it's not just the girls now, it's the girls before you. You don't get along with either. And I think as time goes on, Nicki is going to start to look around. And the only people you have around you, sis, is those that are, no shade, below you. That's why you don't have a problem with Akbar V. That's why you ain't got a problem with hanging with Katie. Katie got fucking bands. And that's why for the longest you didn't care about being around JT. Because JT lowered her fucking self to be your lapdog. And let's just talk about JT again for a quick second. JT, you literally isolated the shit. The same way I dragged Carisha the other day. Because she isolated herself by saying fuck everybody. See how she was with Diddy? You did the same thing but with Nicki. Because once you became cool with Nicki, it pretty much was fuck everybody else. Cardi was supposed to be your girl. She's the one who hopped on y'all song, not Nicki. And you pretty much turned on everybody, including Carisha, because one of my biggest problems that I always felt is like, it was always obvious to whatever reason that Nicki didn't care for Carisha. And my thing is, as much as you want Carisha to stand up for you, why you not standing up for your bitch? No, we're the city girls. You're not going to call just me to do a song and my bitch can't come too when we're in a group. So you pretty much isolated yourself from all of the other rap girls so you could be that woman's lapdog just for her to toss you to the side like everybody fucking said she would. That's the only reason throughout this. I do not feel bad for Ice Spice or JT, because Ice Spice leaned into that shit. She leaned into, that's what I'm saying. This was a mutually beneficial situation. Nicki got the relevancy and the staying relevant and staying, staying inside of the younger crowd. And Ice Spice absolutely benefited off of the barbs, leaned into that shit with Lotto. Ice Spice has no problem with Lotto. That was something that the barbs pushed. You leaned into that. You dissed Lotto for no reason. And now that you're not cool with Nicki, now it's, oh, I didn't really think it was that serious. Because you didn't really have a problem with her. You did that because you felt like you needed to. You was picking a side. And now, like we all told you and JT, when you are no longer of no use to her, you get thrown away. Because let's just say there's plenty of times where contracts break down and things don't work out. Why couldn't it just been, you want to know what I'm looking for from you and what you're looking for from me, obviously we're not getting this, so you ain't necessarily got to be signed to me, but you know what, we still cool. Because it's not coming from a good place. Once she can no longer get anything from you, you are of no use. And we tried to tell both JT and Ice Spice that they were being fucking used. And the minute that it was no longer beneficial to her, she would throw you guys away. And here the fuck we are. So do I really feel bad for JT and Ice Spice? No, not really. I feel bad in the sense of somebody that you really, really looked up to, like legitimately looked up to, and really like has so much admiration for. How that could just completely be shattered. Everything you thought about, your idols literally becoming your rivals. That's where I feel bad. But outside of that, you girls thought that picking the side, because be clear, it's not even like y'all was just cool with Nicki. Y'all chose a side. JT and Ice Spice, y'all chose a side. Now that side no longer wants you. And because you caped so hard for one side, now the other side probably won't even fuck with you. Megan and Glorilla are like damn near cousins, as they like to say. And Glorilla and JT don't fuck with each other. So you really think Meg and JT about to hop on a song together? And especially when Bigfoot came out, JT is liking shit, retweeting it. So as far as you and Meg is concerned, that's a dub. We already know you and Cardi's a dub. You and Lotto, that I don't know, but I could see that being a dub too. You picked your side, JT. So now guess what? Now you gotta stand alone. Ice Spice, you gotta stand alone unless Ice Spice and JT want to hold hands. But outside of that, you bitches are now on the outs. All because y'all want to follow behind that pink lady. This is the difference. As crazy as Nicki acts, you want to know why she can? Because she got the barbs. The barbs is her fan base. And I will say one thing that the barbs say is true, but they allow it, is that other artists will use the barbs to get like their situation or their agenda or whatever their music traction, and they try to get engagement and stuff by riling up the barbs or by doing things that they think the barbs are gonna like. So I agree with the barbs in the fact of people do use their fan base, but the barbs allow themselves to be used. Be clear. They allow themselves to be used. But remember that the barbs are her fans. So no, the minute that Nicki don't like you, they don't like you. And she could like you today and not like you tomorrow, and that's how they will be. Ice Spice, JT, you guys got to get your own following, which shout out to JT for doing her tour the way she is, because I'm very proud of her, the fact that she's working it from the bottom up. That's how you get your own audience. Hell, that is what Nicki did. That is what Nicki did. And I don't see anything wrong. Let me be clear. I don't see anything wrong with girls that are in this industry, especially rap girls, going to Nicki for advice and for guidance and seeking help. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't think that they're trying to take for help. They are trying to learn. And who better to ask than the top bitch? Why would I not go to you? That's like if I'm a rapper and if I'm able to go to Jay-Z and ask him questions, of course I am. How dumb would I be to not? But that doesn't mean now that I'm just completely taken from you in every sense of the word and not giving nothing. And just because I come to you, that shouldn't be held against me. And something else that Nicki does that I think the girls don't like is that they give her praise and then she holds that shit against them. Oh, well, you girls were saying that you was playing me. Duh, as Lotto said, you were the only one. Who else did we have? I was supposed to be here this long, but I really just had to get all those feelings and those thoughts out. But again, Onika Tanya Mirage is a walking, living legend. The greatest female rapper to me of all time. She checks all the boxes. Hits, impact, bars, fashion, longevity. She hits all the boxes. I want her to act like it. I just want her to act like it. Leave the girls alone, Nicholas, and just stay over there with you and Papa Bear. All right, though. But y'all get in y'all comments. Tell me what y'all think. I'm like, bye.